So this is our Team Spark call for Monday, March 23rd, 2015. Thank you guys for joining in with us. I will try to keep this short and to the point. Just a few reminders of what's going on here. Our March Madness Challenge group for the Fix and Fix Extreme is starting its last week. So that will end soon. And if you are in that group with challengers, please make sure that you submit those points on time, because it is a lot of work for us that are organizing that, and it's just a lot easier if we get everything on time. As we move into the April group for the Spring Sweat, Angela and I talked today, and there's going to be a few changes with regards to like the costs for coaches, and that way you're not paying. I had 9 challengers in one group, and that can be a lot of money to submit from as a coach, and then you're not really making as much. So we're going to post those changes, so don't freak out. It's a good change. Everything's simpler and easier. The prize money will just be a little bit less, but it'll still be fine. It'll just streamline it and be simple. Angela did an awesome job at creating this form so that they can just enter their information, and then it goes onto a spreadsheet. It's just really nice and easy and uses the system. So we will post that as we get closer to the April group. So there is still time to have challengers in the April group. So if you have been like me, I have actually been struggling a little bit this month. So here's my little being open and honest with you guys. Normally Success Club for me is like a no-brainer. I hit it like the first couple of weeks of the month, and this month I haven't had as much success. So it ebbs and flows in this business, and I haven't done anything differently. So sometimes you just get it, and sometimes it's just a little bit more work. So I'm not giving up. I sent more follow-ups. I still have some more people to touch base with and think of new ways to strategize a little bit because I want to get my Success Club. So just know that there is still time. It's March 23rd. The next group starts April 6th. So you probably want to make sure that they order their pack by the end of March in order to take part in that group, because shipping can generally take up to a week, sometimes longer depending on where they live. So just push that for April. The vegetarian group, I'm still finalizing that. I do apologize for kind of the lateness. There's just been a lot going on. So I have it about 90% ready. I just have to send it to Angela to get kind of prettied up, and I should have that done by the end of the week, so then we can pick a date for that. And so those were the kind of the things that I wanted to just touch base with my voice. You all heard about Super Saturday, April 25th. Autumn Calabrese will be here for that. So if you do not have your ticket left, please purchase one. The non-VIP tickets, I think, are $20. It's downtown Indianapolis at the Westin from 8 to 12 or 8:30 to 12. So it's not all day. It's just in the morning. She will lead a workout. She will do some training and some Q&A. If you can't come for all of it, that's okay. Come for what you can. I have a wedding that day, so I don't even know what I'm going to be able to come to yet. I have a lot of logistics to figure out with the studio, blah, blah, blah. We'll figure it out somehow figure it all out. But the 24th, the night before, if you are Diamond, you will be invited to an exclusive dinner, which will be much smaller, much more intimate. I went to that on Friday for Leanne Ruff. So that's another incentive, especially if you'd really like to meet Autumn. So there's that. And just a big quick shout out, Megan Martin is still at the top of our Success Club for the team right now. She's doing awesome. And she's a brand new coach. So Megan, yay, congratulations. She is doing awesome. Angela is doing awesome with Success Club. Jamie's doing awesome with Success Club. Karen and Terry Strickland, brand new coach. Awesome, doing awesome with Success Club. So I'm just really proud of all the momentum, you guys. It's not easy to get in there and put yourself out there. So our Team Basics training right now, we just started week 2, and you guys are doing a really good job at staying engaged and posting and doing the assignments I post. So thank you. It makes it much better. You guys saw my vision board I posted this weekend. If not, it's in Team Spark. I did it on an app on my phone. It took me like 5 minutes. Please take some time this week to think about your vision. there is no right or wrong way. Like, everybody's got a vision. My vision board it included like a goal for my Beachbody business. It included making more time for my family, and it included a goal for Body Life 360 because I wanted to be able to make money so that we're less stressed as owners. So those were my goals. So make a little vision board for yourself on your app, and if you do make it, post it, for either send it to me if you don't want to post it publicly, because I'd love to see it, or to your upline coach, because sharing that really kind of puts it in perspective for you. So just a couple things from the training on Friday that I wanted to reiterate with you guys before I get into retention. So if you have a pen and paper, now's a good time to take notes. Once we get really overwhelmed, everybody that's probably on this call, myself included, and we get really overwhelmed with life, with stuff. And we go to bed at night and we're like, oh, I didn't do this. No, I didn't do that. No, I meant to do this. No, I meant to do that. I mean, we all do it. And one way to kind of like break that down for you guys, break that down for ourselves, is to start each day with a daily success goal. I don't care if that is, my success goal today is to get my workout in. Great. Make that your success goal, write it down, tell somebody, and then when you do it, boom, it's done. Okay? And then you can be happy that you got that done for the day. For business, maybe your daily success goal is that you're going to follow up with somebody who asked you about a challenge pack. Once it's done, boom. Don't feel like you need to have this like laundry list of stuff. We all have a different time element, and so if you give yourself permission to have that daily goal, it will really help simplify it for yourself. Another thing we talked about on Friday's night training was the RSVP concept. And if you guys have ever been through any kind of sales training, you may have heard this before. RSVP, it stands for recruiting, sales, very important, very new people, and performers. So recruiting and sales are the R and the S, and those are obviously the cornerstones of any business at all. It's the cornerstone of Body Life 360. We're recruiting new members all the time. We need people to come in the door, right? And we need people to buy memberships and buy punch cards so that we can stay open. And as much as we love what we do, if we don't get that done, I mean, we're just hanging out. So that's a cornerstone. Beachbody, recruiting coaches and recruiting challengers, that's a cornerstone. It never ends. It doesn't end at Diamond Coach, 1-star Diamond Coach, 5-star Diamond Coach, 12-star Diamond Coach. You always have to be recruiting. You always have to you're always trying to reach. If Julie Boris stopped selling challenge packs, what would happen to her business? Okay. So those are always the cornerstones. And then the very new people, you're spending time with those new coaches, those new challengers, and helping them get comfortable with what to do. And then performers, you're obviously spending time with your leaders and those that have been doing this longer. And she broke that down for us. And let's say you have 1 hour. You have your power hour in the morning or at night, whenever you choose to work your business. If it's only 1 hour, that's totally fine. Break that into 20-minute increments. 20-minute recruitment, 20-minute sales, 20-minute very new people, 20-minute performers. Does that help? So that when you make a list, set a timer, like literally set a timer on your watch, on your stove, on your computer. Bing, I'm done. I'm moving on. Bing, it's done. I'm moving on. And it'll help keep you focused. Shut down. You hear my binging in the background from Facebook. Turn that off. Turn your phone over. But get done what that's for. It'll help you stay focused, and it'll make you feel so much better and less stressed out. And she even said, you got kids. I've got kids that like to interrupt my power hour. My 3-year-old likes to wake up early right now, and she'll come downstairs and tell me it's morning, and I'm like, I'm trying to work. Try to do this before you're awake so I don't feel guilty that I'm not paying attention to you. But it's okay to set boundaries with her and say, mommy needs 15 minutes. Let's watch Care Bears. Set a timer, but the thing is, when the timer goes off, guess what I need to do? I need to shut my computer, and I need to hold my word to her and say, yes, mommy's done now, okay? Because that's important too, and that helps with that mommy guilt. We all get it, and I've been really better about this lately. I've just been literally shutting my computer and being like, I'm done right now, because we all have to do it. We all have to have boundaries. So try that out a little bit. Set your timers. give yourself that permission, but remember the RSVP. It'll help you kind of set that timeline for yourself. Okay. Remember, you can never learn less and always learn more. Most of you guys, if you're my coach, I have asked you about a book, and you guys will be getting a gift from me very soon. And I please just don't set it down and ignore it. Okay. So if you're getting the Audible, start listening to it a few minutes every day. If you prefer the hard copy, I ordered them in bulk today, so we should get them soon. When I give it to you, I'm not asking you to read the whole book in a day, but take some time for it. Personal development is usually the first thing we drop, and it's helpful in so many aspects of our lives, not only just for this, but for everything. So really pay attention to that. None of us on this call right now are millionaires. None of us are. But we have to remember that Beachbody has the opportunity to be a $1 million business. It does. I mean, Julie Voris is one of many that has made it that way. She hasn't always been. Her first paycheck, she told us the other night, was $39.99. She got on a paper check. Guess what my first paycheck was? So $39.99 on a paper check that came in the mail because I didn't know how to set up my EFT. I didn't even know I was getting paid. So it does not happen overnight. It is not a quick fix. And there's so much more that we can do, but we have to treat it that way. And what that means, how would we treat $1 million business? We would know how many coaches we would have. We would know how their sales are going. We would know what months they did well and what months they didn't do well, and keep track of their progress. We would have business hours, right? Yes. We would go to meetings like this. We would go to them. We would try to make it to live events when we can and trainings when we can, because it's all continuing education. So it's just another thing to treat it that way. Never stop doing those essentials, like that we keep talking about. There are always going to be people that talk negatively. I have people in my family that do not understand what I do, and it's not going to stop. And you just got to say, okay. Recognition. I try really hard to recognize you guys like it's my job, because it is. But it's also your job to recognize your coaches. So many of you guys have your own coaches now, and I can only see so far down. So Jamie knows this now because she's a diamond coach, and I can only see so many levels under me on my back office. So she has to make sure she's recognizing her coaches as well, so that they get the recognition. It doesn't need to be a huge thing, but just saying good job makes someone feel really good. And if be willing to embrace failure, and it's going to happen. You guys know I'm an open book, and I've told you guys so many times that I was at 3-star qualifying and premier qualifying in December to take that trip, and I dropped it and I didn't get to go. That stunk. It felt like somebody punched me in the stomach. But you know what? I'm brush it off and I'm moving on. It's going to happen. Okay. I have to learn forward and move forward, learn from what stopped that from happening, and make changes. And I have made changes this year. So that's part of that. Embrace your strengths. Every one of us on this call has strengths, and build that and ask for help from other people. We're a team. That's why I love this so much, because it really is a team. Like it's not Mandy Beachbody. It's Team Beachbody. It's not Mandy team. It's Team Spark. We all help each other out. And I just want you to know I appreciate every single one of you, all of your input, all of your experiences. I love it that Sarah Laycock, I don't know if she's on here tonight, but how she's come into our team and she's this awesome vegan. She's going to be awesome for us, to have this perspective, because I really don't know much about vegan lifestyle except that they don't eat animal products. So I think that's going to be so helpful, and we've just got so many awesome strengths in here. Angela's made our lives a zillion times better with her organizational skills. So it is just amazing. Jamie has this whole niche with plus size network, and she's changing lives. She is ending the trend of obesity with her niche. Like, we can all help people lose the baby weight. Jamie's in there with the people that need to lose 200 pounds, you know, and that is crazy because they trust her, and that is a niche. And so it's just really awesome, you guys. And I'm going to stop talking on that, but I just want to make sure we build together. Okay. And just a little bit, I'm going to touch on, on retention. A lot of, let me pull up my notes here I had on this. Where did it go? Where did it go? That's not you. That's not you. Go away. That's not you. Here it is. All right. So we talk about retention. And the reason I wanted to talk about this a little bit is because to stay competitive in any business, whether it's you are an Apple CEO, you are a fitness studio owner like Kristen, Eric, Jerry, Jessica, and I, whether you are a Beachbody coach, retention is huge, right? Like, we have to keep our members, we have to keep our coaches, we have to keep our Shakeology drinkers, we have to keep, you know, that it's huge. It keeps us going. And the reason that we're able to keep retention with Beachbody is Beachbody is constantly coming up with new products. They're constantly coming up with new things online, like Beachbody On Demand. They're constantly improving the formula of Shakeology. Like, you all heard Darren Arlene and how awesome he was. They're continuously educating themselves. They're slowly but surely updating their online office. Notice how I just paused because it's like the slowest process ever. But it's happening, I think. But it, you know, it's all part of retention. Beachbody markets for all of these products on TV. So there's brand awareness there, right? So Beachbody has the best pipeline of fitness and nutrition products. And part of our job as coaches is to share our stories with people, to build that trust in the relationships. And we do that every single day, and we talk about what we're doing and what we're eating and what we're drinking and what workout we did. But we also need to create retention to keep them using our products, not because they have to, but because we want them to want to, right? So that, and like one thing that I've really kind of been thinking about lately is if you get a challenger and they never sign up to be a discount coach and they're just drinking their shakes, and they buy them for a couple of months to do the challenges, and if they never sign up for a coach, what's going to eventually happen? They're probably going to eventually stop buying Shakeology, right? Because it's not cheap, right? And they're like, well, I'm going to try to do this without Shakeology. If they don't understand the value of what they're doing and really believe in it, they're going to try to do it without it. I mean, it's what's going to happen. If they're a coach and they're a little bit more invested, it's like they're like 90 times more likely to stay on your team as something. Does that make sense? So retention is important because of time. You might be great at building and bringing new people in, but if you continue to struggle to keep people in and you have to keep replacing them, you'll be forever trying to rebuild your business and filling spots for inactive coaches. And this is not an active use of your time, right? I have struggled with this in the past. I still get inactive coaches. I mean, it happens. It's going to happen. I don't sweat it as much now, though, because I have enough kind of buffer there now that it's not as big of a deal for my business. It would be really hard for me to drop my diamond rank. But like, I dropped 3-star, right? Because I had people drop out. So I'm going to give you guys 6 tips to create product retention for Shakeology specifically. And the reason I'm focusing a little bit on Shakeology is because I think we've all kind of focused in the last several months on like the 21-day fix and how important nutrition is. Fitness is awesome. I love working out. No, right? We all do pretty much on here. Fitness, I've told you guys all this. Working out and finding the time to exercise has never been my problem. Even when I was overweight, like, I like to work out. So like, that's usually like they buy the DVDs, they'll do their workouts. But what falls down is their nutrition. It's the hardest thing. And here's 6 tips to create product retention for Shakeology. Why Shakeology compared to fitness programs? How many fitness programs realistically do you think someone's going to buy in a year? Probably 2 or 3, maybe. You know, like, they look for the ones they're drawn towards. and maybe last year, the new ones, I'm trying to think, P90X3, what came out? It was P90X3 that came out, Pio came out, and no, Max 30 was that in December? But you know what I'm saying? Like people are going to pick and choose the fitness programs that they are drawn to, right? But they're not going to buy it every month. They're not going to buy a new fitness program every month. They're going to buy one like a couple times a year because they're not going to like everything, okay? When P90, the original P90 came out, I was like, because it didn't draw me in, right? So now it's thinking Max 30, I was like, awesome. I love me some Shaun T, right? But everybody's got their own joy. So, but the anchor is the product needs to be refilled every month for you guys to get that retention. And that is Shakeology. It's tied to everything. Success Club is tied to Shakeology. Active Coaches is tied to Shakeology. Your personal volume, which keeps you active, which helps you rank advance, is tied to Shakeology. The success of your customers is ultimately, Shakeology is huge, you guys, huge. And it's so different it's not a protein shake, and I'd say this till I'm blue in the face because I struggled with it when I first got on board with Beachbody. I was like, but it's so different. And if you guys have not watched that Darren O'Lean call yet, you need to. If you haven't, you need to. Done. End of story. Because it will change your mind. It's not Slim Fast. It's not whey protein powder. It's not GNC. It is just not. And there's nothing else like it. And when people start understanding what it can truly do for their body, my mom actually asked me to bring it over to my dying grandma because it can help her feel better. And it has. She's still alive. Not for very long, but she's still alive, okay? So think about that. Loyal customers, you have to instill belief in Shakeology from day one in your customers of the importance of nutrition first. You may have gotten into the business because of P90X or Insanity or T25, but there really isn't there's no such thing as bad fitness, right? Like they're all good programs. They're just good for, like, people like them for different reasons, but they're all good programs. Beachbody doesn't make a bad fitness program. Even Brazil Butt Lift is a good fitness program, okay? But there is such a thing as horrible nutrition. Horrible nutrition. And we have a great solution. You remind them it's 80% of their weight loss. It's the most misunderstood variable in their purchases. Bad nutrition is far more prevalent in the majority of people, regardless of their fitness, and they need a quality and easy solution. So as your coach, it's worth your investment and time to help them understand some of the key points about Shakeology, about the 21-day fix plan, and that's why we push it so much. It's not that I love Autumn's workouts the best. I don't, and I don't hide that from any of you, okay? But the nutrition plan she has is genius, and I wish I would have thought of it and would have come up with it and sold it and been famous myself, because it's genius and it's simple and it's easy and it makes sense and it's not a gimmick, and Shakeology goes right along with that. So you need to have a conversation. You need to share your story. You need to tell them why you believe in Shakeology, like before they even become a customer. Explain it to them. Just don't say, hey, we got this pack and it's a great deal and you get to try it. I've done that too. But explain to them why Shakeology is what it is and why it's different. And then in our challenge groups, we need to be really talking about Shakeology more and why it's different. Because we can talk about the flat outs and the Greek yogurt, but we need to express like what is in that is so awesome. Right? And how it can change. Like, I love it when we've had challengers that post how their blood sugar has dropped and how their blood pressure has dropped and all these blood panels. Like, I wish Jamie would take a picture of her blood panel for us, because that is the stuff, you guys. That's going to create that retention in those loyal customers. People totally buy from you. And I've told this before, they buy from you because you're you, right? Just like they come to your fitness class because they like you. And relationships are key. But if they're spending over $130 a month on a bag of nutrition powder and they don't believe in the product, they're not going to keep doing it. Okay, they may love you to death, and they may earn you a couple Success Club points, but they're going to have to cancel it at some point if they don't believe in it. Does that make sense? So I need to be better at this too, and I'm really working on it. Like it has to, I mean, and I was so shy about it at first because I didn't want people to think that I was like pushing this on them, because I came from a background in fitness where Shakeology wasn't part of it. And so, but I have changed over the last 2 years because I believe in it so much. So remember that. And then once you duplicate this, if you get to know the benefits early on, you're going to help the new coaches. Your new coaches, when they come in, they're not going to struggle as much, because they're going to be able to do the same thing you're doing. So the last thing I want for you as a new coach is to have your confidence. The last thing I want you to do as a new coach is to have your confidence, because the first initial conversations you have about Shakeology go down the drain. And not much is worse than when confronted with a simple objection about money or what makes Shakeology different from the GNC protein powder. And I don't want that for any of you or your new coaches or your customers. So get back in the back office after you sign off here, read some more on Shakeology, find that Darren O'Lean stuff, look in your Super Life book, look on YouTube, but you need to be an ambassador for the nutrition and the products, because that's what's going to duplicate for your challengers, for our challenge groups, and for your future teams that you're going to be leading yourself with me supporting you, but you know what I mean. So, because we want teams to duplicate. We want to duplicate, right? And the short term, getting to Success Club and canceling Shakeology after month 2, or taking time to create value and then having them, we want them to drink it for a lifetime, because the extra is going to pay off long term. So make sure you guys have a story. And if you don't have a story right away, that's okay. It will come. It doesn't change Shakeology's level of importance in creating product retention. Okay. So this tip, if you guys do not have a story, like some people have a strong story from the beginning on what Shakeology's done for them, like personally. If you don't have one, like a real strong one, think about it for a while. Okay, write it down. You only get that experience through drinking it daily, right? And understanding your customers' needs. For me, I talk a lot to people about how Shakeology has helped my IBS symptoms that I didn't even really knew I had until I started drinking it every day. We've had people talk about how it's helped their their diabetes symptoms, their blood sugar regularity, all skin, sleep, energy, cravings, but it's all individual, and it needs to be your story, because the paperwork's there, but you know what I'm saying? It needs to be from you. And just one last thing, just remember, fitness is tangible. People can see a difference in the before and after pictures we post. They can feel that endorphin rush after awesome workout. And fitness is easy and comfortable story to show. Shakeology is internal and it's subjective. It doesn't have an immediate feeling after you drink it. You don't drink Shakeology and go, woo, I feel like I'm on top of the world. It doesn't happen, right? It doesn't happen. So you have to paint that visual for them, okay? And you need to be able to differentiate Shakeology from XYZ shake, the Advocare shake, the muscle milk shake, all of these things. And I don't mean saying, here are these ingredients and these ingredients. But you need to remember that Shakeology is gluten-free, it's soy-free, it has no artificial sweeteners or artificial flavors. They only accept GMO-free stuff. Even the stevia that is used to sweeten this Shakeology is the leaf. It's not processed. So these are things that people need to know. They just don't realize that it's literally food that they have ground up into a powder. It's so different. Like muscle milk is not that, you guys. It's chemicals. So and I looking at my husband over there because he still buys it. But you have to. They need to know that it's so much more than that. Remember, you are not comparing carbs, protein, and fats. It's ingredients, right? And I've talked about this before, like Weight Watchers. We were talking about this on the board today. Weight Watchers is carbs, protein, fats, and fiber. And that's great. But were they looking at those ingredients? Nope. So will you lose weight doing Weight Watchers? Probably. Yeah, because of calories, but will you be healthier? Not long term. And I can tell you all sorts of things. So it's so important to read those, to have an idea of those ingredients. Okay, I remember being scared to death to let my fat content for the day go above like 25 grams a day because I thought it was so bad for me. And I tested out the countdown. I were doing the countdown for competition plan. I had first day today. And I tracked it, the macros, just because I was curious because I'm a nerd and I wanted to be able to share that with people. They asked me. And today, you know what my fat content was? It was like 50 some grams. Okay. So it's funny how that happens, right? So, and that's and that's on the extreme, it's an extreme, not something I would do every day either. So, ingredients. The superfoods. If you guys were listening to the wake up call last week, she talked about how, she had a breast tumor and she started, it literally changed her life. So because of the ingredients and the superfoods, because she started doing her research. So I only have 5 minutes left, so I'm going to finish up here real fast. Keep it simple. Don't get overwhelmed. Selling Shakeology is like getting a new cell phone. Shakeology has a ton of features, but you'll probably only use the same few features over and over again when you're talking to people. So find a few things that resonate with you about it and put it in your own words. I have coaches on this team that may be on this call right now that run marathons, that need to gain weight. So they're not really in Beachbody for the fitness. They're in Beachbody for Shakeology because it's huge. And guess what? They're not going anywhere because it's helping their health. It's their life. And so if you put new coaches and customers, put the time in early on compounding the importance and how Beachbody has already done the work, then on creating the #1 shake on earth and its integrity has made it easy to handle any objection, then it's easy. And then you can duplicate and create this retention. And one more quick thing before my 5 minutes is up. Emeralds, okay? If you guys are a brand new coach on this team and you are not an Emerald coach yet, I want that to be your goal, to be an Emerald coach before the end of March. Yes, that's like 7 days? Guess what? You can do it. It's 2 coaches. And you know who one of those coaches should be? Anybody want to unmute and tell me who that one of those coaches should be? Lisa Barnes, I see your face. Unmute yourself and tell everybody who one of those coaches should be if they're not Emerald yet.
Your husband.
Your spouse.
Your hubby.
And I'm going to do a whole nother call on why, and with a whiteboard, and I'll draw, okay? Because I get so many objections to this because they're like, but it costs more money. And your husband says, but it costs more money. Okay, would you rather have 1 stream of income or 2? That's easy, right? 2. If I signed up Jerry 3rd, I think, 3rd or 4th. And if I wouldn't have signed him up I signed him up without him even really knowing. And if I wouldn't have signed him up when I did, you guys, I would be making so much less money every month because I cycle he cycles on the volume and I cycle on the volume. And when you're Emerald, it's only $14 per cycle. And when you're a brand new Emerald, that means absolutely nothing to you. And you're like, why would I make $14 when I can make $30, right? But on commission. But I'm telling you guys, when you get to a point, it makes a huge, huge difference in your income. And it's not commission, it's a paycheck. So I can't stress that enough. I really can't stress that enough. I'm to that point now where my team cycle bonus is way above my retail and I'm hitting SC10 every month and it doesn't matter. My team cycle bonus is still way higher. And Jerry's like, oh, look, I made, he makes, anywhere from $100 to $500 a week. Right? And so it makes a huge difference because it's incredible the potential it has. Even if you just sign them and you put them in a placeholder and you run it, until you're ready to build it later, that's fine. But you want them high up in your business, high up, because then you're going to make more that way. They're going to make more that way. If you're not married, then it can be a mom. It can be a parent or a sister or something like that. And then and it just is so beneficial, you guys. I really cannot stress this enough. So if you have not signed your spouse yet, please, like really, 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 really think about it. Yes, you pay an extra business fee. Yes, you do. And you need that 50 personal volume or whatever per month to keep them active. Jamie's typing because she knows too. It makes a huge difference. Susan, why do you, I'm going to pull up my chat. How do you talk Shakeology without sounding salesy? And I've got 2 minutes, 23 seconds, so I'm going to talk real fast. The biggest thing for me is to tell them about the benefits. I don't even mention the price for a long time. I just tell them how I feel differently and how it's different from everything else. So I'll be like, it's not a protein. Because I had somebody, well, I use this shake. That's great. I don't make them feel bad. You know, like I don't want to make them feel bad, but I'll say, but these are the differences in Shakeology, and this is what makes it different. It's not a protein shake. It's a nutrition shake, and you could always give your money back if you don't like it. So we're going to get signed off, so I'm going to stop it before we get, and if you guys have more questions or want me to answer or elaborate more, Susan, post it in on the thread, and I will answer them. Okay? Okay? Because it's going to cut me off. All right, guys. Good night.